Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of April 13th through the 19th. And during that time, we will have the full moon on the 13th, and that could be a time of heightened emotions, time where you feel maybe a little bit overwhelmed and anxious or snappy and irritable. If you're anything like me, you'll have changes in your sleeping patterns. I can never sleep on the night of a full moon. Really have to work on that. So that's just a really good time for you to practice patience and calm, and it's kind of a little test for you there. We then move into, of course, the waning gibbous energy, which is a time of self-reflection, rebirth, time to make positive changes and kind of buckle down and get some things accomplished. So keep those moon energies in mind as we're moving through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Gemini. So, of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message card for this reading is look at the bigger picture. All right, let's see what the Gemini Collective has going on for this week. And while I'm shuffling, I would like to remind you that since my readings are free to you, Gemini, all I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel, and of course, it's super, super easy. So I'll give you just a moment to get that done right now. Just click that subscribe button. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you for coming back and helping me build a community here. I'm starting to see some returning people, and I really do appreciate that. I thank you very, very much for your time. Also, my reminder for the week is to notice the world around you today. And this would be kind of watching for those synchronicities and, just maybe a little more heightened awareness about it. But, watching for animals that you might see that you don't see every day in your path, maybe repeating numbers or a song that you overhear, maybe a conversation you overhear. But watch for those synchronicities as the universe speaks to you. There's always clues and breadcrumbs for you to follow, and it's just a way for you to find clarity on your unique path. So that is just my fun weekly reminder for you. All right, Gemini, April 13th through 19th. Look at the bigger picture. All right, Gemini, your overall energy is the High Priestess card. So we're going to look at the bigger picture, but we're going to look at it from, kind of from your subconscious, from your intuition. So if there's something you're kind of going through and there's a big picture that you need to look at, you need to kind of go within a little bit on this one and, find that truth. And that's that truth that is within you, the truth that if you, just really stop and think about it and go within a little bit, what that truth is on the bigger picture. Your current situation is the World card. So, you're in this place of kind of perfect balance, and you're just, it seems like you're in a really, really good place. And if there's a bigger picture, this might be about the lesson of gratitude and learning to look around and just being so thankful that the things that you have going on right now in your life, it's like your dreams are materializing. You're in perfect balance. You're living in harmony. You've got some worldly success. You've got some things around you. Things are just in a really, really good place for you. And if it's the bigger picture you're being called to look at, it's to kind of go within and again, maybe to develop some sort of practice of gratitude for that. At the root of your situation is the Queen of Wands. So the root of this is sitting in an understanding of the things that do drive you, the things that make you happy, and that and I do think it's driving you to kind of just realize that, like, hey, I'm actually doing great. I'm in a good place right now, and I need to be just super thankful for that. In your recent past is the Ace of Swords. So, are you coming into this with some sort of mental breakthrough? Has there been something that has inspired this kind of positive attitude that you're having right now? It could be, this could be anything. This could be a conversation that you had with someone. It could be something you read. This could be a podcast that came up for you. It could be just something in the world that has kind of woken you up to think, hey, I really need to look around and kind of count my blessings this week because things are great, So, and maybe you've somehow just recently in your recent past been reminded somehow, or that has somehow been brought to light for you. If that's something that's true for you guys, let me know what that is in the comments. Let me know what things that you've encountered that made you think, wow, my life's pretty awesome right now. So, what is on your mind this week is King of Cups. So, on your mind is maybe trying to figure out how you can take this gratitude that, hey, your life is pretty good, and how can you engage more in a more emotionally balanced way with maybe just the people around you, that maybe there's a friend that you need to say a kind word to. Maybe there's a spouse that you need to do something nice for. There might be kids in your life that you need to just do that extra little kind thing. It's just, how can you go that, and that's on your mind this week, is how can you reach out to those people around you and just show a little kindness, or but share some of that gratitude that you have. So that's something that's on your mind this week, and I think that's awesome, and it's awesome for the people around you too. What is just in front of you this week is the King of Swords. I mean, look at all the royalty around you. Um, wow. King of Swords is where you're just really going to take, this is you using your words. And again, if it's King of Cups, it's using your words when it comes to these emotions. This is showing your gratitude through the words and through your thinking. It's already in your mind to be doing that. So this could just be kind words or some kind of communications that you do. This could be just sending a text to your kids. Hey, I'm really proud of you this week. I'm proud of you, this thing that you've recently accomplished. Any compliment that you can do. And just like I said, with your friends and family around you, that's just, this is you doing the messaging of all of this positivity that you have right now, which I think is, again, it's really nice. It'll be nice for those people around you. And your advice position is, to come together with those emotional cups, and don't be afraid to share this week. I mean, wow, this is just such a nice reading this is turning out to be. Gemini, I really, really like this. What is beyond your control this week? A little bit of a disruption. So here we've got all this nice balance, and maybe this is just your test this week, that there's some disruption. You are in a really good balanced place. And maybe this is just the universe saying, hey, like I said, with the gratitude, that maybe a disruption is kind of that little test to make you look at that bigger picture and say, you know what, this is a disruption. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but nothing can, it's like nothing can get you down. Nothing, even this little disruption, and nothing can really change how great your life is right now. Secret desire, what you're trying to avoid. All right, so this is kind of moving forward in a new way of new thoughts and ideas, and that'll be your big question this week. Is this your secret desire, or are you trying to avoid that? Are you kind of happy where you are, or do you want to move on to the next thing? So, and move on to, and it's moving on to the next thing as far as just your intellect and your thought, and maybe in how you communicate, and that's going to be your big question this week, is in all this gratitude and with this disruption. Like I said, that it's, even though it's going to be annoying, it's not the end of the world. But you're going to look at the bigger picture, and are you trying to avoid messaging things in a new way, being this King of Swords, and being a person who can really express their feelings. And you need to think about that this week. Is changing your, moving forward into the future. Can you change, and can you be that person that can kind of express all of this? And that is going to be kind of your big challenge for the week. In your outcome position is the moon. So this card, I'm never shocked to see this card win the high priestess, because I feel like they're so related. They're both kind of our cards of mystery, and they're that the cards of intuition and subconscious. And this is, pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to the messaging around you. Like I said at the beginning of the video, the synchronicities and things that are around you. How is the universe speaking to you? So I think you're going to get through this tower moment like it's nothing. And I'm not sure, and I'm not even really getting a clue on what that is, but it's almost like a disruptor you're in kind of this dreamy state of like, my life is really great. And you're kind of in that really great energy. And this is just one of those things to be like, it's great, but here's some reality for you. And it's kind of that test to make sure that you can stay on that path of gratitude and that path of being kind to those around you and really opening up emotionally when you're coming together again with friends and family, and kind of one-on-one. This isn't done like in a group setting, but this is kind of just a text to that friend that's just the nice thing that they need to hear. Hey, I appreciate you being in my life. That text to your kid or your spouse, just someone that's it's kind of like spreading the gratitude, right? Which I think is awesome, Gemini. I really love this reading, even though again, like this Tower card, I just think it's a little test for you, and that's how the universe works. Once you learn a thing, it's like, oh, let's test it. Do you have it? All right. Let's get a final message here for Gemini. Final message for Gemini, April 13th through 19th. Oops, sorry. Speak up. And that's here again with this King of Swords and again to those around you. So speak up, say what's on your mind. We're going to grab another card out of there for you. Is Raise Your Vibration, which I think I just had that card with Taurus too. So speak up, learn this lesson, learn that your life is great. Learn how to show gratitude to just the people around you. I mean, I think it's a really, really awesome lesson for you to speak up, look at the bigger picture, and love those people around you this week, Gemini, which I think is a great message for you. So, Gemini, I really do appreciate your time here with me today. I hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use for this week. Again, if you'd like to share something in the comments, please let me know if there's anything about this reading. If you have any kind of question or even just a comment of, what were these tower moments for you guys? What kind of came up for you that made you question that little test of your gratitude. So I'd like to know those sorts of things. Make sure these readings are touching you out there. Also, I do post weekly, so come back next week and we'll see if this energy continues or if there's just a totally new message here for you next week. So, once again, if you like my reading style, Gemini, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel, and I appreciate that so much from you. So, thank you so much, Gemini, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.